The September 18th meeting of the Batavia Park Board of Commissioners. Please call the roll.
Riley.
Here.
Dorsey.
Here.
Tillman.
Here.
Gray.
Here.
Callahan.
Here. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Any items to be added, removed, or changed on the agenda?
Yes, I would like to add 2C1 personnel to executive session.
Any other changes?
No.
Do I have a motion to adopt the agenda as amended?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Tillman, second by Dorsey. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Next item on the agenda is the consent agenda, so I'd like to entertain a motion to establish the consent agenda as follows. Approve the meeting minutes of the regular board meeting of August 21st. Approve the meeting minutes of the executive session of August 21st. Paid expenditures, expense approval report, investment summary, income statement, purchases, review of the Windmill City Fest financial summary, and the approval of ordinance number 378, surplus property.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Tillman, second by Dorsey. Any further discussion? Shall I please call the roll?
Tillman.
Aye.
Dorsey.
Aye.
Riley.
Aye.
Gray.
Aye.
Callahan.
Aye, motion carries. So I would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as established.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Tillman, second by Dorsey. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is guests, matters from the public. Anyone wishing to address the board tonight, please come to the podium, state your name and your address for the record, please.
I'm Donna McCormick. I live at 717 South Jefferson Street. I brought these pictures. I don't know if you folks know about it, but there's a memorial dog in St. Charles. I don't have enough for everybody. I thought there were only 5 people that got all the pictures that were in the guide. But anyway, it's a dog. It's a sculpture, and it's a big mountain sculpture. It's in a park, and people can go and go and hang their dog tags on it. And then eventually, when it's filled up, then you'll hang tags on tags, and it'll just grow. And the people at Moss Funeral Home told me about it, and they helped sponsor it. And the Park District did, and I think Batavia needs one. So I don't know what kind of information you need or what I should do, but I'm more than willing to work to try to make this happen.
Well, you came to the right place. There's a lot of people here that like dogs.
That's what she was telling me, so, yeah.
So if I may ask, where in St. Charles do they have it? Is it in the...
I haven't gone to see it. It's
Okay.
in a park.
Oh, it's in a park.
It's
Okay.
at James O'Brien Park.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it
It's
is.
a green
Yeah.
by the dog.
In the back,
park.
by the
Near the-
Discovery Note.
Okay.
And the director of the funeral home told me that they also have a bridge there, and then they have a stone that they've chiseled the Rainbow Bridge poem in. And so it's just, for people to, and if people want to keep their dog tags, you can go and get new ones made at PetSmart or whatever, and just hang them on there. So I just thought it was a great idea, and I thought that Batavia needed one. So that's why I'm here.
Well, we appreciate you coming out tonight. First of all, board, have any questions or comments?
No, I think it's a great idea. I mean, we have a memorial dog for our bark park, and any sort of addition like this would work really well in conjunction with that. In case you don't know, that you're able to buy a stone to go around the dog, and but this would be another addition to
Right.
to
Yeah, I
something like
didn't
that.
know about that.
Yeah, no, I mean, but I'm not, I think that any
No, that's
sort of,
really nice.
I have 2 dogs, I love them, and I would do whatever once, they passed on, but yeah, I mean, this would be a great addition.
And I think we were the first park district to ever offer a pet memorial program, and the other park districts started to catch on like wildfire, but, we do offer the granite bricks that can be engraved at the dog park by Parky the Barky Dog.
But I like this idea
Yeah.
for the tags as well, so I could definitely look into the possibility of adding that as
As a feature.
As an option.
Yeah, I mean,
That'd be
I don't
great.
see why
That'd be
there
great.
wouldn't be room out there for
Yeah.
something like
It'd be very complimentary.
Or someplace else,
added to
yeah.
our
Yeah,
current
sure.
memorial. Though.
Exactly,
It'd be
yeah.
very complimentary.
Oh, yeah, on the same memorial dog,
Yeah.
so, yeah.
Well, thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Okay, well,
I think it's a great idea.
if you need anything from me, I'm willing to work to try and make this happen, because I
Very
really
good.
like it, yeah.
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 Thank you very
Great.
much.
Thank you for
Thanks for
bringing it
coming out
forward.
tonight. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Okay.
That's
Thank
great.
you.
And we encourage you to try one of our pet
Breen
or
Park.
dog birthday
St.
parties.
Charles.
And don't feel obligated to stay the whole time if you don't want.
You're more than welcome.
We won't talk about you once you leave. Okay. Just check.
All right. Well, thanks again. So, next item on the agenda is matters from the commissioners. Anyone willing to or wishing to make any comments this evening? I just had one. I wanted to, first thank all 3 foundations for the Bulldogs Unleashed program this year, and certainly, especially our Parks Foundation, and a special shout out to Steve and Britta McKenna for their time, energy, and effort, including Saturday morning, the day after the math. They were still working pretty hard. So it's very nice that we have the ability to have all of the agencies in town working together for a single purpose, and that is to improve opportunities here for predominantly the youth, but really the community at large. And I just think it was a great event, and certainly appreciated their time, energy, and effort for making the whole program a success, and want to just say thank you. Anyone else? All right. Next item on the agenda is correspondence. We have 2 pieces of correspondence. I'm sorry, 1 piece of correspondence. A thank you note from the RSVP board for allowing them to use the office space at the Park District. So we'll put that on file. Very nice of them. And then, of course, our favorite time of the meeting, and that is our announcements. Kate?
Thank you. Turn a little bit more this time. Are you looking for ways to give back to the community? Well, then the Batavia Park District and the Batavia Parks Foundation staff invite you to join us for the 3rd 2018 Park Cleanup Day on Saturday, October 6th from 8 a.m. to noon. We'll be tackling some projects out at West Main Community Park, which is one of our largest community parks in the district. If you are interested, you can RSVP actually to me, Katie Drum, at katyd@bataviaparks.org by Saturday, September 29th. All you need to do is show up, bring gloves, and we'll provide the rest. Speaking of volunteering, the Batavia Park District is currently seeking individuals or groups interested in helping out at the 9th annual Haunted Quarry. This is a great opportunity for service hours, team building, and community groups. The event takes place on October 13th and 20th from 7 to 9 p.m. at Hall Quarry Beach. You can channel your inner demon, your favorite ghost or zombie, just to volunteer to help out. And if dressing up is not your thing, we're also looking help with makeup application, zone supervisors, and tour guides. And if you're not interested in volunteering at all, well, then we certainly invite you to save the dates to join us for a creepy good time and work up the courage to tour the haunted quarry. Of course, enter if you dare and escape if you are lucky. And then also, by popular demand, the Batavia Park District is excited to host the first annual Halloween house decorating contest. We definitely want to see your scariest and most frightening house decorations this season by competing against other Batavia households to win Best Overall Theme or People's Choice. Judging for Best Overall will take place on Wednesday, October 24th between 6 and 9 p.m. and People's Choice online voting will be open between October 25th and the 30th on the district's Facebook group page. The deadline to enter your haunted house of horrors is Tuesday, October 23rd, and it's just a $5 fee to enter. And of course, if you have any questions about any upcoming fall events or programs, you can always visit bataviaparks.org or give us a call at 630-879-5235. Thank you.
Thank you. So next item on the agenda is staff reports. So we'll start with any staff updates.
Actually, it's my great pleasure to introduce our new Director of Finance, Mr. Mitch Bolin. And Mitch, I'll hand it over to you to say a few words about yourself and welcome yourself to the district.
So, good evening, everyone. Thank you for having me. To give you a quick background about myself, I did my undergrad work at the University of Illinois and graduate work at North Central College in Naperville. My first job out of college was actually at the Illinois Park and Recreation Association. That's how I found the field. Shortly thereafter, I went to a private sector company for a very, very brief period of time, wanted to get back into parks, and found my way to Oak Park with a former coworker from IPRA. Was finance manager there for about 4 years, and then went to Wooddale where I was a director of finance, and then from Wooddale to here. I've been in government and nonprofit finance for 7 years now, and this is going to be my second year as a director of finance.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
And at Wooddale, Mitch actually wasn't just in charge of finance, he was in charge of human resources, marketing, and technology. So needless to say, he's really excited to be focused on finance.
This has been a very positive change. I've told Allison quite a few times this has been a really great place to come. She and Tammy have given me a very warm welcome along with the rest of the staff here. So I'm very happy to be here.
Thank you.
We're happy to have
We're
you.
happy to have you. So actually, now's a good time if you'd like to do the walk, the graduation walk.
Welcome.
All right, and then we'll start with Jim for staff reports.
Come back up the road to myself. A couple of real brief things. The Batavia Historical Society, as one of their fundraisers for the expansion project, had their historic church walk last week. Over 100 participants. They were very, very pleased and hope to do something again next year along those veins. And then on October 13th, from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., out at the former Avenue Motors dealership out on Randall Road, corner of Randall and McKee, from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., they're going to be having an estate sale, the Clark family estate sale. Supposedly they have some really, really cool memorabilia from their days, their 30 or 40 years, 50 years as a dealership, a Chevy dealer in town, to be able to pass on to folks who are interested. So we encourage
What
folks
day
to
was that
stop by.
again?
October 13th. It's a Saturday.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Got it.
And the Clark family is very generously sharing the profits with the Historic Society.
wonderful.
So, yeah, it's going to be a pretty cool thing. So, Eric.
Actually, Mitch.
All right. I thought you did.
Thanks, Jim.
Yeah, there goes your CDP budget.
No. Well, I'd like to give some acknowledgement to Allison, Tammy, and the rest of the staff. That everything was in, great operating condition when I got here. They did a great job keeping everything running during the transition period. All funds are tracking very well with the 2018 budget. Through August, the year-to-date revenues in the general fund, which is the largest operating fund, are actually up 8% from last year. The budget remains on schedule. Alice and I are meeting with staff to review current budget requests and the projections for the current fiscal year. And I'd just like to remind the board to please remember the CDP retreat this Sunday at 9 a.m.
Great.
I'd like to chime in on what Commissioner, President Callahan had mentioned about the Bulldogs, I would like to extend a huge amount of gratitude for allowing me to participate and work with the foundation directly on the program. We had a really good time. It was, the process was amazing. Steve McKenna is phenomenal at the logistics and organizing everything. And I think it went really, really well. Meeting the artist prior to doing the work, and then after we picked it up, and then this week we've been delivering the dogs to the owners and the ones that won them during the auction. They were excited. It was like Christmas for them, and it was just so cool to feel that energy from the people that wanted these dogs. So it was a lot of fun, and so I don't know if we'll ever get the opportunity again, but if it does approach us, I encourage us to do it because it's a great feather in our cap.
Yeah,
So,
great.
Thank you. And to chime in on what Katie had mentioned about the mom-son wagon rides coming up this Thursday night, crews have been out prepping the trails for the wagon rides. This is one of the Parks Department's favorite events because, as we got tractors and wagons, and it's in the dark, and we got fire, it's amazing. And so everybody's on a buzz waiting to go out there and help, and we usually have a great turnout. So I put in my special order to Mother Nature, and everything goes well, and I can keep her happy through the Thursday. We're going to have a great time.
Excellent.
That's it for
Thank
me.
you.
Thank you.
And just kind of feeding off what he said, the Mom and Son event is so popular, they're full and have a wait list for both of them. So it's this Thursday, the 20th and 27th. I actually had to kick my son off of it because it was so popular, but I do what I can for the Batavia Park District. Other than that, just transitioning from summer to fall, we have a lot of big programs coming up, including our enrichment programs. Our New Horizons actually up 30 kids from last year at 164. Our kids club, all of them are very popular. Becca and Lori do a great job. The teachers are kind of getting back in the swing of things, and that's starting to get rocking and rolling. We held our first annual tailgate party for BYF. It was a great event. The high school team was out there signing autographs for the kids. They did a 7th grade scrimmage. They did the flag football. We grilled up about 800 hot dogs. In fact, I don't want to see a hot dog for the rest of the year. But it was good. The kids loved it. We will continue to do that. It was a nice little event.
Great.
And then again, Haunted Quarry is right around the corner. Starting to work on that with staff, starting to get things organized, getting our themes. I don't want to give too much away, but it should be probably the best one ever. So look forward to that. It is October 13th and October 20th.
Steve's first ever?
I thought he said best.
Yeah, that bar is now set pretty high.
I do want to highlight something that Steve had said about our New Horizons preschool program. What's really neat about hearing the enrollment being so high and increasing from last year is the fact that the school district is still saying that the enrollment is super low for kindergarten. But yet our preschool continues to increase and expand. So that says a lot because there's a lot of competition out there
sure.
for preschools.
That's great.
Especially our teachers. We have great teachers, very patient, very good with the kids and the parents.
Yeah, I agree.
And then pickleball too. We have pickleball now on Mondays from 6 to 9, from Tuesdays from 1 to 4, and Wednesdays 6:30 to 9:30. You said the king has been dethroned, but I still hear you're pretty good. So
Yeah, there's other players out there that are pretty good.
we're going to do that till November and then reassess and see where we're going to offer it. But it's very popular. We've had a great response, and we'll continue to offer it.
Great. Thanks, Steve.
Well, marketing staff, as you know, we're gearing up to do all of our marketing and PR for all our upcoming Halloween events and programs, but also holidays, which is crazy. It just feels wrong because it was just Labor Day weekend. But also heavily right now, we're really focusing on the 50th anniversary celebration marketing campaigns for 2019. Actually, the last 2 weeks, I've been digging through box upon box of old slides and photographs with Jennifer Putzier, the museum director. And so shout out to her. She's just been so amazing helping me sift through a million unmarked photographs and all sorts of things. But it's been a ton of fun looking at all the old programs that we used to offer. And she also set aside some of her projects that she had her volunteers working on just to kind of make this a priority as we gear up for the 2019 winter brochure, which is just around the corner. So I just want to say a big shout out and thank you to Jennifer. And then also to Steve. Him and his team have been helping with figuring out some throwback programming as well, but also helping with some research too and kind of putting the pieces together as we kind of put some fun facts into that brochure series. And then also for our campaign next year. So. And just again, anyone out there, if you do have any fun photographs that date back to 1969, I would love to see them. So, send those to me. But yeah, we're looking forward to releasing all of those next year. And the last but not least, a few months ago, actually, Tom Dorsey, you had asked about if we could do analytics on our third-party web registration software. We weren't at that time. And we called Vermont Systems, who's our third-party host, and it turns out it was possible. It just took several months to figure it out with them. So actually, about 3 weeks ago, we were able to embed that. And so this is the first marketing report where I have those analytics in there, so I'll continue to report on those each month.
So thank you for that tip.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, it was a great
And it's
idea.
Google Analytics you had set up for the website?
Yes.
Nice.
So I have 'em-
That's exciting. You're going to get a lot of data, So it'll be fun to figure out, how we can improve the website and then the possibility and potential for, we do online registration, but it can even spin off from that. So that's really cool. Thanks for setting it up.
Yeah, thank you for suggesting it. Yeah, I was curious. I was surprised that 77%, or at least in the past 3 weeks, returned back to the district website. So that's pretty great. I was like, wow, that's good. That's all I got. Thanks.
Thank you.
Oh, and then you were taking a test or something a month ago, or how did that go?
I took the CPRP at the end of August and super excited I passed.
Congratulations.
Yay! Thank you. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, everyone.
I like how you teed that up. That was great.
Good.
Yeah, we were super proud of Katie.
Well, I think everybody here is getting a designation, so that's terrific.
Yeah.
Professionalism.
I couldn't agree more.
Organization.
Well, thank you all. Board, any questions for our staff? All right. Executive Director's Report.
All right. So I'm going to start off with a slide that I actually had from last month, but not everybody was in attendance last month, to recognize this individual for the years of service. Volunteering as...
We clapped for you. You weren't here.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if you watched. I didn't know if you had Comcast to watch it on BATV or not. So, but I did want to recognize Commissioner Tillman for all of his years of coaching basketball. He volunteered his efforts long before he joined the park board, which just goes to show his commitment to the park district, to the community. He's developed the skill sets of many young girls through the basketball program. The 3rd and 4th grade program was his baby, and over the summer at the concert series, some former players that are now college age decided to throw a surprise for him and coordinated with staff, and Katie did a great job of presenting it. And presented him with an honorary award. And again, John, thank you for everything you've done. We really do hope that Michael Jordan jersey comes out of retirement. And when we rehab the gymnasium that we have here at the Civic Center, we hope to see you back in action.
Well, I was really honored. Thank you very much for helping the girls put that together. And it was really a great evening. So thank you very much.
Well deserved. Let's give it up for John. This was a two-peat.
Yeah.
All right. So what you see before you are several of our staff members that took part in an event called Step-tember. It's a wellness activity. So not only do we preach wellness, but we also practice it. So Paderma, our risk management pool, has staff members that elected to participate, counting how many steps that they can get, and then they can earn reward points at the end of the year. So, so this is the crew that taking healthy measures. There were more people than this just.
But they were walking?
Yes, they were busy. They were
on the
running
move.
around. But I did want to recognize staff for again, it's important that, here we are telling the public, that they should stay healthy and that they should participate in our fitness programs, but, we really truly believe in what we're preaching. Okay, so contrary to the last photo at the Riverwalk, this picture was taken in Nepal, which is a small country in Asia. And in the background, the very colorful piece you'll see was our former playground at Prairie Path Park. That's always been a tongue twister for me.
Yep.
So how cool is that? And here you even see a young little girl in a wheelchair. I'm sure she wheeled down there, handicap accessible.
She's got a great smile.
Yes, killer smile. But residents can feel great about how the Park District is partnered with Kids Around the World, and that organization, it removes and relocates our playgrounds to countries that can't afford brand new playgrounds. And it's a free service, and we've been taking part in it, Jim, for how many years?
I think since almost 10, probably.
Almost 10 years.
Yeah.
So we will continue to provide information to the public. And with that being said, in our lobby, we have a map, and it may be a little bit difficult to see, but we do have push pins. Our marketing department is coordinated with, so Katie is coordinated with Jim, on exactly where our playgrounds are throughout the world. So you can see there's some in South Africa, or South America, Asia, Europe. So it's quite fascinating. So we do have this map in our hallway, so feel free, if you're in the Civic Center next time, check it out. It's pretty amazing. Bulldogs Unleashed. We can't say enough about it. Anybody who was not there at the event, have any guesses on how much the Time Traveler Bulldog went for? It's the highest auctioned off Bulldog. You read the story. All right, so $8,000. That's incredible for one Bulldog. And here we see I always like to call him the DeKalb Corn Dog. He went for $4,000, and he was the second most highly auctioned pup. So the foundations anticipate over $60,000 have been raised.
That's great.
So it's just incredible. So thank you for all of you who participated, and all of you at home watching. Thank you for your continued support of the Parks Foundation, the School Districts Foundation, and the Library Foundation. And I have to mention when it is somebody that we do know on the right-hand side, President Callahan's wife. President Callahan actually purchased a raffle ticket, and look
Already
at
is
that.
sitting in my living room.
Is he a good pup?
Yeah, and Boomer does not know what to do with him. He's sniffing him. He just doesn't know what to make of it.
And here's just a snapshot for those of you that weren't able to come to the event. The room was packed. Just a great time overall. The note cards are still selling at the front office. So those of you that want to have a note card that you can, perfect for thank you notes, we are selling those still. Okay, another contrast here. This office, this cubicle is actually located inside Jim Eby's office. So this is where RSVP, Retired Seniors Volunteer Program, this is where they had their office. They would have one volunteer in there at a time, and they provide a wonderful service that we promote in our brochure. And they provide services for seniors who don't have transportation to go to doctor's visits, who need help with medication, who need help with lock boxes installed outside of their homes. So for over 15 years, the Park District has housed them here. We had them downstairs for a long period of time, but it wasn't ADA friendly for them, so we've moved them upstairs. Now that we've demolished the two homes on Prairie Street, we had to move a lot of the storage that was in those homes into Jim's office, because we are really short on storage here. So RSVP actually planned a few steps ahead, and they have a new home at the city offices, and so they're very excited because it's a newly renovated office for them. People can take an elevator to get to the second floor. So it's a win-win situation, and I would actually like to invite RSVP for a community service award at an upcoming board meeting.
Absolutely.
And we do plan on making Jim's office more of a storage unit.
Already working.
Sitting on boxes.
Not counting Jim as part of storage.
Yeah, well.
So we did mention how the Clark Family Estate Sale is a part of the Depot Museum expansion project. It's a fundraiser. And so here's kind of the listing of events when they're going to happen. It kicks off at 9 o'clock, the early shopping. For society members and special guests. 10 o'clock, the public is invited to come out. 4 o'clock, that's when the auction begins. And 5 o'clock, it's going to be a nice tribute to the Clark family who owned Avenue Chevrolet. So again, many unique items that are for sale that are going to help raise funds for the expansion project. And just to tie it all up, Haunted Quarry, we are looking for volunteers. Those of you watching at home, if you enjoy face painting, maybe you enjoy costume making, we are looking for actors. Maybe you've never acted before, but you love Halloween. We would love to have you at our Haunted Quarry, and you can contact the Park District at 630-879-5235, and we can certainly cast you in a role, whether it's behind the scenes or out on the main stage. And I encourage any board members, if you've never been, would love to see you, either behind the scenes or in the action. But it is a great time, and we're very specific about having it on Saturdays because Friday nights, we're a big football town here, and we've learned the hard way by not having having it on Fridays.
Yeah.
And you can actually hear the crowd, the football crowd, at the quarry on those Friday nights. It's pretty cool. So, all right, that is a wrap.
Well done. Thank you.
Actually, really quick, I wanted to point something out. Months ago, you guys may have remembered that we worked with the high school design department, and we worked with a student named Josh Lorich, and so a high school student actually designed that Haunted Quarry logo.
Oh, that's great.
So I just wanted to point that out to you guys. I thought that was fun.
Very cool.
Very cool.
All right. Next item on the agenda is 12A, Capital Development Progress Report.
I'll turn my mic on. Keep it kind of short. We're going to be talking a lot later when we do some awards. The bids were open for the Eastside Center parking lot and the playground. We will be discussing that in a very short order. We did do the material abatement testing in 111 South River. And yes, there was a small amount, mostly just window glazing. That bid for the abatement was opened, and we're going to be awarding that as well. That will be taking place probably starting on the 3rd of October. There are some real strict notification requirements from the EPA and IEPA for those kinds of projects. And then the demolition bid is on the street right now and will be opened on the 25th for the eventual demolition of those two homes. That will be late October through November. We give them a month, but usually it won't take that long.
Sure.
So it's going to be two more down. So that's it.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is second reading for our administrative policy discussion. So I'd entertain a motion to approve the dissemination and posting of information policy from the administrative policy manual as presented. Motion by Tillman, second by Ray. Over the wire. Any discussion on this? Shall I please call the roll?
Tillman.
Aye.
Ray. Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Next item on the agenda is 13A. We have a series of bid awards for the work at the Eastside Center. So I'm just going to put these out as motions and then we can have that conversation if necessary. So I'll entertain a motion to reject the lowest bid that was not responsive to the district's bid requirements and award the contract for Eastside, award the contract for Eastside Community Center playground replacement to Foss Brothers in the sum of $483,530.06. So this is a motion to reject this bid?
It is, no.
Are we
It is a motion to reject
rejecting the low bid? We have
low
taken
bid.
two motions, sir? Okay, so we're rejecting the low bidder, and we are awarding the bid to Klaus Brothers in the sum of $483,530.06. Motion by Tony, second by Greg.
So can we walk through just real quick? We're rejecting the lowest bidder because they were not responsive to all of our requests.
That is correct, yeah. If you, the Upland Design kind of outlined it in their letter, and then the following letter from the D&J Landscape Company, they neglected to take into account a very large number required for driving of steel caisson pilings down 12 to 15 feet that are integral to a retaining wall, and they were way short on that number. And they also did not have the required experience in the amount of concrete work that needs to be and the quality of concrete work that needs to be performed.
I wanted to make it clear, because when I was reading this, I just wanted to make it clear to everybody that there are times where we will reject a lower
Yeah.
bid in favor of somebody, like you say, is more experienced or has,
Yes.
The project will actually get done, and we would have potentially had a lot of overrides and you know.
Change orders.
Change orders and stuff with the lowest bid that potentially could have come out more expensive than the next
Yes.
bidder. So I just want to make it clear to folks that it's not that, we have anything, other than just trying to protect the integrity of the work, so.
Technically, although Upland put it as non-responsive, they're actually non-responsible either. The responsive goes to providing what the bid documents asked for. Responsible evaluates experience. They didn't have either, so you're on firm ground to do both.
Okay, anyone else? Shall I please call the roll?
Tillman.
Aye.
Gray. Aye. Riley.
Aye.
Dorsey. Aye. Callahan.
Aye, motion carries. I'm assuming that project was in budget.
It was not, it was over.
By how much?
Talked about, let's see,
467 is probably the close.
And overage.
yeah, it's about 110.
467 was our estimate?
Was our estimate, yes, and we were at 483. I'm sorry, the 110, that's the next one.
Yeah, 87,000 was the
87.
overage.
It's on the second page.
I'm sorry.
John, listen to the money guy.
It's okay, we wanted to make sure that we put it in the report.
Okay, so next item on the agenda, I would entertain a motion to award the contract for the reconstruction and expansion of the Eastside Community Center parking lot to the lowest responsive and responsible bidder, Abbey Paving, in the sum of $618,176.64.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Tillman, second by Gray. Okay. Any discussion on this one? So this was over by 118?
118.
It was over, yes, from our budgeted number, which had been a number that we had carried forward for a number of years. It was actually below the final estimate cost from our engineer's ERA.
And ERA had given us the budget number.
And they're saying that the overage accounted for here is lighting system?
I was just using that as an example. The lighting system that is required by the zoning ordinances now ran us right at about $50,000. And then the landscape buffers and islands and all of that stuff that was added in is $31,000. And our pergola, or trellis, I guess, is what they're calling it. The trellis was at almost $18,000. So we kind of went up on that, and I think it's going to make a world of difference at that site. It's going to be beautiful.
Okay.
Mitch, did you want to say something?
Yeah, the couple things I'd point out here. I mean, the couple things I'd point out here is, being a project being over budget is never fun, but if you postpone it, these costs only go up usually about 4% annually. Jim and I are actually looking at the CDP budget in pretty close detail for the entire fiscal year, and from an appropriation standpoint, since there's been savings in other projects throughout the year, that this isn't a concern operationally.
It's under 10%.
Correct.
Okay. Any other questions? Shelley, please call the roll.
Aye.
Gray. Aye. Riley.
Aye.
Dorsey.
Aye.
Callahan.
Aye, motion carries.
Well, this approval actually will completely change the face of the Eastside Center. That'll definitely be your mark for serving on the board every time you drive by there.
Bring to fruition a concept that we've had since 1995.
Full circle, yeah.
And that's all I wanted when I started a new parking lot.
Couldn't make it happen back then, but thank you for doing so.
All right, so next item on the agenda is the award of the contract for the asbestos abatement. To entertain a motion to reject the lowest bid that was non-responsive to the district's bidding requirements and award the contract for asbestos abatement at 111 and 115 South River to Valor Technology, Inc. in the amount of $29,635.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Tillman, second by Gray. Any comments on this one? Seems pretty routine.
This one was under budget.
Yeah.
Good job, Jim.
Yay!
Well, Jim and I joked we could go
One for
years without
three.
rejecting bids, and then all of a sudden one board
Right,
meeting we
we did
reject
too.
2 bids.
Yeah, I was going to say, we never really have that problem.
Well, I don't think I've ever seen that, but if they don't respond all the way, why do we even accept it then?
You have to review, you have to review the bids.
Yeah,
Even
any of
if
the
it's
bids that are
incomplete?
submitted, you have to open them and
Okay.
read them
All right,
aloud
just
and
wondering.
review.
Determine
due
if they're
diligence.
incomplete, then
Okay. Because it's kind of like, well, you're only rejecting if it's not complete,
yeah.
not necessarily. Okay.
But
Are you upset with it?
they're tripping us.
Yeah, I agree.
Sorry. Okay.
So Shelley, please call the roll.
Tillman.
Aye.
Gray. Aye. Riley.
Aye.
Dorsey.
Aye.
Callahan.
Aye, motion carries. So next item on the agenda is kind of a follow-up to our discussion about the relocation of the original Bell at Shannon Hall and providing that to Holy Cross Church. So I'd entertain a motion to approve the agreement between the Batavia Park District and Holy Cross Catholic Church for the donation and the relocation of the original Bell at Shannon Hall to the Holy Cross Church as presented.
Second.
So moved. Try that.
He motioned. I'm going to
Yes, he
give
did.
Dorsey the
Second.
motion, and
I'll second.
I'll give Tim. I'll give
Jump the gun, you're so excited.
It's done, Tom.
I thought I would throw everybody off. If he said second, I was like, okay, I'll go ahead and move.
All right. Since we had quite a bit of discussion about this, I think we can just take the roll. So, Shelley, please call the roll.
Dorsey.
Aye.
Tillman.
Aye.
Riley.
Aye.
Gray. Aye. Callahan.
Aye, motion carries.
Hallelujah. They will be very happy. And they're going to be in touch with Katie Drum for publicity efforts and getting the news stations involved.
Terrific. So, item 13E, I guess I'd like, Allison, for you just to kind of talk a little bit about what this is, just for the benefit of the community, and then the board will take.
Sure. So Batavia resident Buzz Miller, he is the husband of the late Alderwoman Linnea Miller. And he, for a year now, has been talking about gifting either the Parks Foundation or the Park District $34,000 for us to purchase a sculpture, a very specific sculpture by St. Charles artist named Ray Cobald. The name of the sculpture is called From the Waters Comes My Bounty, and he wants to have it at the Riverwalk. He has spoken to many different aldermen at City Council who are very much in support of this. They love the idea of having it at the Riverwalk. And Linnea was on the Riverwalk committee to help build the Riverwalk as well. And so his plan is to gift us the money, but with this agreement to purchase that sculpture, and then we, the Park District staff, Parks Department, would install the sculpture so we don't have any out-of-pocket expenses for a contractor. And then we would purchase some sort of mounting, whether it's a flagstone, a stone for it to be mounted upon, but to keep it looking classy down at the Riverwalk.
And to maintain it.
And maintain it. So this particular agreement talks about what would happen if there is damage to the sculpture. So if there's in excess of $17,000 worth of vandalism to the sculpture, then we will not replace it. This particular agreement is a 20-year agreement. Other than that, that's pretty much what it is.
How big is the sculpture?
Yeah.
7 feet tall.
So they can't steal it, right?
Right.
But it says,
Well,
It's a very thin
It seems
sculpture.
real top heavy. Have you seen it like in person here? I mean, how do you anchor something like this? I'm afraid that if it's not done properly,
There's either threaded, large threaded mount
in the bottom of this, okay.
Either we're talking about a limestone, large limestone slab or concrete base, so it would be impossible.
Okay.
And it's a Native American Indian sculpture, so it does look a little bit different than what we're used to seeing down at the Riverwalk. So we would have some sort of interpretive sign as well that would be plaqued next to it.
No, I like to look at it. I was just worried because it looks like it's really top heavy, and that if it's not mounted correctly, and there it is.
Thank you.
That was cool.
where is it now? Is it just?
Thanks, Steve. Here's the.
Wasn't it at Mount St. Mary's Park?
Actually, I'm not sure if it's currently out in the open. It was my understanding that the artist had created it, and he only does one of a kind sculptures. So this statue, there's just one of it. So I'm not aware of it being showcased outside of his home. Unless maybe it was an art show and he was trying to sell it somewhere. Maybe that's what's outside.
Well, I guess I just want to say, I miss Linnea a lot. She was a great lady. She was incredibly supportive of the Park District. I think this is a great way to honor her and her legacy here in Batavia, and would fully endorse the board approving this tonight. So, all right. So I'd entertain a motion to approve the agreement between the Batavia Park District and resident Buzz Miller for the purchase and installation of the sculpture "From the Waters Comes My Bounty" on the Batavia Park District property as presented.
So moved.
Second.
So motion by Tillman, second by Dorsey. Any further discussion? Shelley, please call the roll.
Tillman.
Aye.
Dorsey.
Aye.
Riley.
Aye.
Gray. Aye. Callahan.
Aye, with pleasure.
Thank you. I'll be happy to pass it along to Buzz.
Please. Okay, Fox Valley Special Rec, any update?
Nope. They actually had to reschedule their last meeting.
All right, and the Parks Foundation, we talked a little bit about tonight, so any
No,
follow-up on that?
nothing further for right now.
Okay. So then I would entertain a motion to enter into executive session under the Illinois Open Meetings Act 2C5 for leasing property, and acquisition of property, and 2C1 personnel.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Tillman, second by Dorsey. Shall I please call the roll?
Tillman.
Aye.
Dorsey.
Aye.
Riley. Gray. Aye. Callahan.
Aye, motion carries. So we have no business to come before the board after executive session. I want to thank you for joining us this month. We look forward to seeing you again next month. Thank you.